the gun, and then we'll go.
We'll never surrender.
Skin boots on a Saturday night.
Hello guys, this is the Gaming Revolution here and welcome back to an all new Revelations video. Now today we're going to be talking about one of two only ciphers, Easter egg ciphers that have indeed been solved for Revelations, and this one's definitely an interesting one, and I know I am late to the party with covering this, but I just was waiting for us to get, more information, and we really haven't gotten more information, so I just decided why not, I might as well cover this information now and give my own ideas and perception on this cipher. So without further ado, if you do go on to enjoy this video, it would be absolutely amazing if we could smash 1,115 likes on today's video. That would be greatly appreciated. The likes have been kind of low recently, and it'd be great if we could smash that out of the park. So let's get straight on into this cipher. So you can see the cipher, which can be found in Revelations, on screen right now, and Jason Blundell said prior to Revelations releasing that he thought that we wouldn't be able to solve any of the ciphers on Revelations, or so he thought, because we've managed to solve two ciphers at the moment. However, this is the only one that gives us new storyline information, as the other one is simply a thank you from Treyarch for all of the years that the community has stood by them with zombies. Okay, so I'm going to read off what this cipher reads when decrypted. Now, I'm not really sure who actually decrypted this cipher. Unfortunately, if I manage to find out, I will leave a link to them down in this video's description. But anyways, it reads as follows. I am the last of us, but I will be joining you soon, my friends. Cough, cough. Death is near. I hope what we have done doesn't come back to bite this universe in the ass. Thank God we will all be gone, because if Monty ever found this place, we would have been in a world of shit. Maybe now with us all gone, the children will truly be safe. And then it's signed D. Now, what could D stand for? Well, we don't really have any characters with the initials D, so it's most likely referring to Tank Dempsey. That seems to be the overall consensus of the community as a whole. But the thing is, this cipher makes absolutely no sense. It does not correlate whatsoever to the Revelations Easter egg. It doesn't correlate to the ending. It doesn't correlate to any other radios, any other ciphers, or any other audio quotes, or any of the wisps. It doesn't correlate to any of that, and it's hard to understand what exactly this means, but immediately it hints to us that Dr. Monty is indeed evil. Thank God we will all be gone, because if Monty ever found this place, we would all have been in a world of shit. Maybe now with us all gone, the children will truly be safe. And I think what this cipher is referencing to is the storyline or the preceding events to do with the alternative super Easter egg. As you guys know, with the Easter egg ending on Revelations, we simply continue this cycle. What happens is we use the blood vial so that we don't fade out of existence from this perfect world. However, Dr. Monty then sends us back to Primus, and then obviously thousands of years later, then Origins then transpires, and then the whole of the Black Ops 3 zombie storyline takes place all over again in a reoccurring cycle. And this cycle has been repeating itself for eons. However, we still have one pair of blood vials left, which are indeed from Mob of the Dead, and obviously the Weasel was the only one to have broken the cycle previously, and we have Al Allington's hat that doesn't really have much use on Revelation, so it may come into use in breaking this cycle. But the thing is, what's interesting about this, and I've pointed this out within previous videos, is that we haven't actually kept the children safe. Within Origins, Samantha tells us that we need to close the loop. However, we failed to close the loop within Revelations, as we simply repeated the cycle, so Primus failed. However, she also tells us that we need to keep the children safe. Samantha tells us that she has been in the house for ages, and she's been trapped there for ages. She has been trapped in the house for ages by Dr. Monty, and then obviously Richtofen at some point joins her later, along with the other characters, once they collect their souls within the summoning key. But the interesting thing about this is that we don't keep the children safe within the Revelations Easter egg ending. Within the Revelations ending, we see that the characters, or the children should I say, are represented as toys. The toys are a metaphor for the children, and then Dr. Maxis as well as Sophia, along with the toys aka the children, then kamikaze into the Apothecan's son, hence destroying the Apothecans and all of the zombies, and then putting this perfect world back to where it once was. So we didn't keep the children safe. We didn't keep the children safe at all, because they are essentially dead at the Revelations ending. The children did in fact die, and also we didn't save the children because they're going to get trapped in the house once again. As soon as the cycle repeats, the children are straight back in that house, and they will stay in the house forever. This whole storyline is going to keep on repeating forever and ever and ever and ever until we finally manage to break the cycle and revert our storyline back to the original storyline between World at War up to Black Ops 2, which I think is what's going to happen, which will set up the storyline perfectly for the comic books, which are going to be releasing very soon actually, which is indeed featuring the transit crew. So it would be perfect if for this super Easter egg where we break the cycle, we revert back to the original storyline, which would set up the storyline perfectly for this comic book. But the thing is, I really don't have much understanding of what this cipher means, because it has no backstory, it has no context. We don't know what this cipher means at all because it has no context. If we had more information about it within the main Easter egg or other ciphers or quotes, then maybe I could try and explain what this cipher means. But the problem is, we don't know what it means. All that we know is that Dempsey is the last of us. I would assume he's the last of Primus or the characters. And then he says, I will be joining you soon, my friends, which I would assume he's joining the other characters. I hope what we have done doesn't bite this universe in the ass. And I think what that's referencing to is, as he said at the Revelations ending, they still have a pair of blood vials left from Mob of the Dead, and I think we're going to use this other blood vial to break the cycle, and he's worried that it could bite this specific universe in the ass. But then it says, thank God we will all be gone, because if Monty ever found this place, we would have been in a world of shit. So if Monty ever found this place, they would be screwed. But then he says the children will truly be safe, which again is referencing back to the fact that we failed to save the children within the Revelations ending, and somehow by breaking the cycle, we need to set the children free from this house as they've been trapped there. This cipher honestly makes no sense, because I just don't understand what it's referencing to. All I can think of is within this super Easter egg, somehow the characters manage to escape from this loop, and they end up in a place where Dr. Monty can't find them. But then he says cough, death is near, so I would assume the other characters have died, and now finally Dempsey has to die, which is similar to us collecting our 1.0 souls. So maybe now our characters, our Origins crew, have to die as well, and this is something to do with saving the children and breaking the cycle. Another thing which this could be referring to is maybe this is directly coming from the Primus version of Dempsey. That is a possibility. We know that the Primus died, they lived out their normal lives, then they died, and then obviously thousands of years later Origins took place. Or the Origins crew are not the same crew as Primus. They're sort of like reincarnations of Primus, although they are not technically speaking Primus. So what if this is referencing to Primus? What if this is how the characters die? What if Primus does something within their timeline which sets up the storyline for again this reoccurring loop, and the main goal is to save the children, but unfortunately that kind of fails because the Origins crew accidentally restart the cycle. Because the Origins crew simply restart the cycle because of Dr. Monty, although I think they're finally going to be trying to break that. Now originally I think Richtofen was planning on trying to save the children by himself. He was going to use the blood vials just for himself and let the other characters fade out of existence, but then he became accustomed to these characters and they became good friends essentially, and he felt remorse for them, so then he saved them by getting them blood vials from Mob of the Dead as well, that we saw at the end of the Zetsubo Easter egg. So now that the cycle's repeated, we've gained more knowledge, we now have the Arcade-5, and maybe now we will finally be able to keep the children safe. I'm sorry if I seem very confused within this video, because honestly I am. I think no one understands what this cipher means because it has no context whatsoever. It could be referencing to the Origins characters now that the cycle has repeated. It could be referencing to Primus. It could be referencing to anything really. It might not even be Dempsey, for fuck's sake. It could be some other character with the initial D that we just haven't met yet, but I'm sure it will make more sense as more ciphers begin to get decrypted, and I'm sure it will make more sense as we start to progress with this super Easter egg. But as he said, there are still some people who have doubts about the super Easter egg, but I am 100% confident in this super Easter egg, as the decryptor fixer seems extremely confident with it as well. And I know he's made mistakes in the past, but that's just been him misinterpreting the code, whereas this time he seems extremely confident, and he definitely won't be that confident if he has any doubts of him making a mistake or misreading the code. But without further ado, thank you for watching the video. Make sure to subscribe if you're not out here for the latest and greatest Black Ops 3 Zombies news information. So anyways, thank you for watching, and bye.